Good afternoon, Patriot pals. Thank you for joining me. How are you? Have a good day, everyone, and God bless you. Alright, now we will come to today's news. And it looks like the director of the FBI, Christopher Wray, is out there whining about threats against the FBI, because they are in the brown shirts and they're coming for your steps. Right. He's out there whining about people's reactions to the raid on President Trump again. Never has this been done before in any administration, going all the way back to George Washington. Obviously, we didn't have the FBI back then. But the FBI has now set a precedent that they are openly hunting their political opposition. And now more and more calls are coming from the side of the GOP people within the Republican Party saying it's time to dismantle the FBI, as time to go ahead and dismantle them and throw the ashes into the wind, because this agency is not redeemable. This agency is absolutely horrible. There are no good apples of scent, stated this many different times now on the channel, talking about FBI agents. If there were any good FBI agents, they would be standing up today saying this is wrong, what our institution is doing right now, what's wrong. But nobody has done so. So therefore, they are complicit in what is currently going on, and this entire operation needs to be dismantled, and they need to be prosecuted along with many others and a three-letter agencies out there. But here's Christopher Wray, so let's go ahead and dive into this real quick. Christopher Wray, the director over at the FBI, states this. You won't discuss the raid on Trump's Florida residence, but says he is concerned about threats against agents. Oh, really? You're concerned about threats on agents even though your Gestapo has been actively hunting Republicans for the last couple of years now. Getting the MI-MOS who walked peacefully through the velvet ropes at the Capitol when they were let in by the Capitol Police. Yes, that same people they're wanting. You people disgust me. The FBI director Christopher Wray on Wednesday spoke publicly for the first time since his jackboot Doug's raid at Trump's Florida residence. Nearly 3,000 federal agents descended on Trump Marginal Argos estate on Monday, under Director Wray's leadership. Machine gun-toting agents camped outside Mar-a-Lago. Why federal agents rummaged through Trump's home? Christopher Wray spoke during a news conference in Omaha, Nebraska on Wednesday. A reporter asked Wray about the raid to Mar-a-Lago, and brought up Trump's comments on the FBI possible planting evidence at his home since no witnesses were allowed near the agents. The FBI and others from the federal government would not let anybody, including my lawyers, be anywhere near the areas that were being rummaged and otherwise looked at during a raid on Mar-a-Lago, Trump said on True Social on Wednesday. Everyone was asked to leave the premises. They wanted to be left alone without any witnesses to see what they were doing, taking or hopefully not planting. Why did they strongly insist on having nobody watching them? Everybody. How Obama and Clinton were never raided despite big disputes, Trump added. A reporter also asked if Trump supporters are threatening FBI agents after the raid of Mar-a-Lago. He says, well, as I'm sure you can appreciate, that's not something I can talk about. So I refer you to the department. Wray said. He continued as to the issues of threats. I will say that I'm always concerned about violence and the threats of violence against law enforcement, race and right, the same guy who refuses to acknowledge the existence of Antifa and has done nothing to investigate BLM. Yeah. This dude. This is the same FBI who knelt for this great St. Floyd, during the BLM riots in D.C. Remember that photo of the FBI agents outside of the FBI headquarters there in Washington, D.C., all taking a knee in solitude with St. George Floyd, right? These thugs are working for one side. They're not looking for justice. They are looking for justice for their side in order to make sure their political opponents are put behind bars. And will never be able to threaten to power within the deep state. The bureaucracy that remains, and all of these leaders who said they didn't know anything about its people, like Joe Biden and his administration, said they knew nothing about it. They are liars. This was all planned and coordinated for it to go down the way it did. And, breaking news, The Washington Post, planting distrust not evidence. Trump's latest effort to impugn the FBI. New York Times. Trump baselessly suggests FBI planted evidence in Mar-a-Lago search. MSNBC. Okay. New Newsweek. Donald Trump suggests FBI agents planting evidence at Mar-a-Lago. Independent. Trump baselessly, so they got the memo also. Whenever it's hate, Trump is installed by the Kremlin as never baseless. It's actually a possibility that needs to be investigated. It's actually unverified claims against Trump. When Trump makes an allegation, it's completely baseless. Anyway, Independent Trump baselessly suggests FBI planted evidence during Mar-a-Lago. So he believes Donald Trump believes for various reasons, by the way, that it's possible or that he thinks that they planted evidence because they're desperate. Okay? The fact that we don't know what they did and why they raided Mar-a-Lago proves that the man is innocent. If they in 2016-2015 did the same thing to the Clintons, the home of the Clintons, we would know, oh, that's because she had servers with top-secret intelligence on them, how she transferred with her team, special access program intelligence and classified data onto servers running outside of the United States government. Nobody knows. And that is a crime. It is a crime to own computer servers outside of the United States government. With top-secret and special access program intelligence, it is a crime to transfer that information outside of secure government networks. Comey knew and they said, well, no rational or reasonable prosecutor. So then he gets into the psychology psychoanalyzes a hypothetical prosecutor saying, well, nobody would really want to prosecute. Yeah, anyone would. Okay. It is not even possible to do that. It is a crime to transfer top-secret intel from secure government networks onto computer servers that could be hacked by the entire planet. And they were almost certainly worth. Okay. So you would know, if the Bureau went to the home of the Okay. With Hunter as a litany of things you would know: illegal narcotics, firearms, everything, okay? He shouldn't be able to own firearms because he has a history of either criminal behavior or you have the videos of him he was arrested once. Or he has a history of violating the law. Okay, you can't get a firearm if you have a history of violating law, or breaking the law. Okay. Aside from that, he has videos of him weighing illegal narcotics. Okay, so there you go. Okay. So you wouldn't know why. You wouldn't know why they would go to Hunter's home. Okay. So you have Hunter here? No, he hasn't been arrested, but he's on it. He lied pertaining. That's what it was, he lied pertaining to drug use. So he lied. As I'm looking right now. No, so he's never been arrested obviously because of who he is. But he lied on an application to obtain firearms, okay. Yet another example of laws not protecting society. But here. Then he promptly his girlfriend threw his .38 into a dumpster and then the Secret Service got involved, according to Politico. Then there are emails and voicemails and text messages and financial records showing that he sold the country out. And there's 150 suspicious financial transactions according to CBS News, and there are emails where corporations are asking him for favors. And then you have Joe forcing on a prosecutor. So you have to read the actual emails. 10%, he says he's giving 10% of his earnings to the big man, the attorney Obolensky, a business associate that is saying, yeah, the whole thing was a racket, because Joe was vice president and as vice president, according to the New York Post, Joe met with his business associates at the White Swing. The reason he thinks that they planted evidence is here. Kevin Klein-Smith pleads guilty to altering an email to seek surveillance warrants against Trump campaign advisor Carter Page. Ex-FBI lawyer admits to falsifying documents in probe of Trump's campaign. They had to falsify documents. And he pleaded guilty to that. Then you can go back in time. Connolly gets 10 years for protecting mobsters. The Cape Cod Times, the former FBI, he will be serving this sentence for racketeering, obstruction of justice immediately. So, in the Durham, John Durham prosecuted this case. A former FBI agent once hailed as a hero in the fight against the mafia, was sentenced to more than 10 years in prison for protecting his top mob informants in a case that led to new Justice Department guidelines for him handling criminal informants. So that was a real, very sordid situation. Okay, where you had a top FBI official basically committing crimes alongside organized criminals, okay. Now you have the situation where they didn't go after people who actually committed crimes. So you have these articles, Trump, at the same time, he's trying to disparage the Federal Bureau of Investigation. He's saying they should be leveled against Hunter. Yeah, because Hunter committed crimes. You could see him weighing illegal narcotics on a video. Well, what more do you need? What more do you need with Hunter and the videos and in voicemails and emails and in financial transactions and businesses that where he's getting hundreds of millions of dollars from companies serving as foreign as fronts for intelligence agencies? What more do you need? What more do you need? With Clinton? There's a litany. It's not just top secret intelligence on servers. It's a foundation serving as an intermediate between wealthy individuals, billionaires, corporations around the world and their pockets. So instead of just stuffing their pockets full of dollar bills, they go through the altruistic foundation. It's not rocket science. You can look at the history of the Democratic Party, it's Tammany Hall. There's something called honest graft and Tammany Hall now we have the 21st century version of honest graft. But anyway, so this isn't rocket science. They go after one political side and they shield another political side. It is not difficult to understand. You would have to be completely partisan not to see that. If Comey had the same type of if the FBI is simultaneously raiding the homes of Democrats who are accused and have evidence of criminal wrongdoing, and they're going after Trump, that's a different story. But they don't do that. And if you have the Washington Post, the New York Times, MSNBC, CNN, Vanity Fair, Esquire, Time Magazine, Rolling Stone, The New Yorker, New York Magazine, The Atlantic, BuzzFeed, Vice, you have all of them writing investigative journalism, investigating the crimes that Democrats fantastic, but they don't. They cover up the crimes when Mashed Potato Brains was accused of actually committing the crime that Trump was like, in a very bizarre hot mic joking about. They ignored that, went after the accuser and trying to exonerate and protect Biden. But with cabinets believe Trump, believe Biden, and every other Democrat they don't really want to believe actually, you know what, the person making the accusation, they had financial problems. So these are absolute hypocrites, and that's why he thinks that they've planted things in addition to using a dossier that Clinton literally purchased. Thank you very much. WWG1WGA. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button to watch the next episode.